boom, 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 like a boom, boom, like a boom, 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 like a boom.
Before we talk about the accounting equations, we need to start with accounting family. What is accounting family? The accounting family, they got three members. The first member, we call it asset. And second, we have capital. And the third member is liability. So, what is asset? According to the accounting standards, asset means that we have future economic benefit flow to the enterprise and the cost can be measured reliably. We call that asset. For example, cash or the cash in the bank is also cash. Why cash is an asset? Because we can use the money to buy some equipment in order to help with our operation. That's why in terms of transferring into equipment, and the equipment can bring us value in the future for the enterprise. That's why cash, asset. Equipment also is an asset. I give you one more example. For example, we are doing delivery or courier service and we need to buy some motor vehicle. And the motor vehicle help us to deliver the goods to our customers. And we will receive income from the customers. That's why the motor vehicle is also a kind of asset, which means that help us to bring value to the enterprise or the company. So this is asset. Secondly, capital. What is capital? Capital, which means that the owner or the boss, they need to invest some money into the corporate in order to help with their business. For example, now I need to run a restaurant business. Before I start the business, I need to set up the restaurant, including the kitchen. I need to buy some food materials in order to fill up my menu. And also, I need some money to recruit staff to help us to run the operation. So, I need to invest money into the business first. And through the money will become the opponents to help us to get the success of the operation. So, capital, which will show the value of the owner investment. And finally, the third member is liability. What is liability? Means that the company owns money of the others. For example, under the operation, the companies, they need more cash. But unfortunately, the owner doesn't have much cash on hand and he asked the help from the bank. Finally, the bank borrowed money to them and then they use the money borrowed from the bank in order to maintain their operations. Of course, as we all know, this is a kind of bank borrowings. Of course, we need to repay them and also we need to pay them interest. But that is another topic. So liability in this case, which means that we own or we borrow money from the others. Sometimes in accounting, not only talk about money or some kind of we borrowing some resources. Okay, we also owns people things. We call that liability. So now we know that these three members of the accounting family. So I would like to further to introduce the accounting formula, the basic equations into some scenarios for you to know more about it. Just like scenario 1, now assume that there's an owner or boss, okay? He wants to start a business and he got $10,000 and he invests this business. What he's going to do? Oh, he wants to do some delivering business and he need to buy one motor van. So he used the $10,000 to buy a motor van. And the motor van costs $10,000. So in case starting from this business, he got a motor van. Just now, as we said, this is a delivering business. So the motor van is very critical and core in order to help them to start their operation. So now, in asset, we got one motor van. And the motor van, the value, how much we buy for it? We buy for it $10,000. Okay? And also, the owner, he invests $10,000, right? So in case, under the record, which account that we are going to use to record the investment of the owner, we will use capital. So he also invested $1,000. So in this case, we finally found the first simple equation. You see that the asset equals to the capital. That's why we know asset equals to capital. Okay? And in order to further explain more about the full accounting equations, let's go to scenario 2. In scenario 2, the owner, he wants to develop the business. And now he need to buy one office in order to keep all the goods and also park the car, something like that. Yeah. And then he need to buy an office. And he don't have much money. That's why he looks for help from the bank and borrow money from the bank, which is, we call it bank loan. And then for the office, how much is the office? Assume the cost to buy the office is $100,000. So he goes to the bank and asks for bank borrowings and then obtain a bank loan, $100,000. Okay? And in case, finally, he received the money from the bank and he used the $100,000 to buy the office. So, in this situation, we conclude as asset. Now, number 1, he got motor van. The value is $10,000. And secondly, he buy the office, right? And he got office. $100,000. And in case, how much he invests into the business? For the capital, which is the owner investment, he only invests $10,000 only. But he borrowed money from the bank. Okay, remember this one. So which means that he obtained a bank loan. He owns money from the bank, which we call this liability. So in liability, we got bank loan. And how much we borrow from the bank? $100,000. Got it? So after that, we know that the total value of the asset now is $110,000. And the value of the capital is $10,000. And the value of the bank loan is $100,000. Which also finally show us the accounting equations, which is asset equals to capital plus liability.